This is Leicester Till I Die TV. Watch and subscribe on YouTube and listen on your podcast platform.
Hi everybody, Jerry Taggart here. Now be sure to watch Chris and Leicester Till I Die TV by subscribing on YouTube and following them on social media for all the latest Leicester City news and information. Come on you foxes!
Strap yourself in,
because we're set up, switched on and ready to go.
Seven, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
And it's live.
Good evening, Foxes fans. How the devil are we? Yeah, there I am. Everything's going wrong tonight, I'll tell you. 2 days to go. Are you excited yet? It's the biggest game in Leicester City's living memory, I think. Of course, we've had the Premier League. Don't mention that, though. But we've got this weekend. Indeed, it is the FA Cup final. Just take a minute for that to sink in. 1969 was the last time that we played in the FA Cup final. We've been in it 4 times. 4 times the bridesmaid, yet to be the bride. Could this be our year? I mean, Chelsea are standing in our way, but we've already beaten them this year, haven't we, this season? Have you got the decorations up yet? I've got my flags up here. I've got flags everywhere. I've got the scarf. I've even got the old program there, and I believe e-tickets are on the way out to all the fans, and the testing kits for the COVID are going out as well. So fingers crossed, it's all looking good. Let's just say a couple of hellos. Going to say hello to Mel, Mod Mel, MM there, up the Foxes. Thank you, Mel. She supports Arsenal. So, I mean, what have they got to play for this season now? But, hey, thanks for last night. I know I've got 2 Chelsea fans about to come in, but I've got to say it. Well done, Arsenal! But there we go. And we've got a Cardiff fan in. Good evening, Cardiff City fan. Who looks like he's called Ryan, I'm guessing from the next comment. But I love FA Cup finals. Don't we all? Melina says it's the cup final weekend. And thank you, Cardiff. Well done, Leicester. Great achievement to make the final. Well, it is, because it's a bit boring. I mean, Chelsea, they were in it last season. Don't mention that again, because they lost to Arsenal again. Did I mention that? I will mention the fact that we are on live, Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube. Please give us a subscribe. We would love you forevermore. Facebook, Leicester Till I Die, the group. And if you are in the Twitter sphere, we are on the little case of at Leicester TID. I got it right there. Yes, his name is Ryan, and we've got is Miss Melina getting ready to celebrate St. Tottenham Day? Oh, Brookline, you will be popular. You will be popular. I was asked, Stephen Collins, he may be coming in later. He asked me, what will I do if Leicester win the FA Cup final? Of course, Gary Lineker, and I'm not sort of, half as popular, I wish, as Gary Lineker. But of course, he presented the first match of the day of the following season in his shorts after we won the Premier League. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I was at school with Gary Lineker. We are the same age. We're in the same class. I haven't got his body. I must admit, I have got the body of a god, Problem is, it's Buddha. So I'm going to have to keep my clothes on, but I will do something. Tomorrow you might find out what it is if you join us on the preview show at 7 o'clock. I will announce it then. But there's something I've got planned just in case we actually do a stupid thing and go and win the damn thing. Because when I said, well, I'll tell you about it later. I will tell you later because we've got these guys waiting and I can hear what you're saying. You are saying, who are they? No, maybe you're not. Well, I'll tell you who they are. We have got we've got Tom from the Blue Podcast. You can find him on YouTube or at the Blue Podcast, believe it or not, and on Twitter at the Blue Podcast 1. They've got a lot of brains, these Chelsea fans. I'm just taking a lot of thinking out. And we've got RCF TV, RCBian, is it? Chelsea Fan TV. You can see the YouTube there is RCBian Chelsea Fan TV, and his Twitter is ANK30784, and that's Ankit. So let's not keep them waiting any longer. Or should we? They're only Chelsea fans after all. Let's bring them in. We'll start with Tom. I've not upset you enough for you to leave yet, then, Tom.
No. It's been obviously spoken about this a little bit earlier. But it's been a long time since I last saw you, isn't it?
It is. I mean, how the devil are you? It's been absolutely ages. You know? I was on Tom's channel earlier. You give it a shout out what it was about and where they can find it.
Well, I'm unsure on exactly when it'll be out because of technical issues, but
we've all had those.
With the Blue Podcast on YouTube, we aren't just Chelsea. With Chelsea, City, Liverpool, Arsenal, and we have a United guy now as well. But I'm obviously the delegated Chelsea fan. That's why I'm here today to speak about the FA Cup. So thanks for having me.
How can you have a Man United fan on the Blue Podcast?
I've asked myself that as well, Chris. I've asked myself that as well.
Let's say good evening to Ankit. Good evening, Ankit. How the devil are you, sir?
Good. Thank you. First of all, thanks for calling me in. Really, it's a pleasure to be here.
You're more than welcome. And make the most of Ankit because he has got a habit today of disappearing every now and again. His battery goes and it's only like a blackout. So
it was just a perfect day, and just as the show started, it started pouring out, and that's something of my luck. Anyway, so thanks for calling me in. And so basically, it's RCBian Chelsea Fan TV. RCB happens to be one of the popular cricket clubs in India, and of course, Chelsea. Been there in that 20 years and years.
Okay, we're not going to have a Chelsea love in here, don't you know?
Come on.
Across the seas. Mel saying hello there. Cardiff City. Mel has a habit. She's actually based in Canada, but I don't know whether you know her, Tom, don't you? But she has a habit of sitting there in this huge big coat, and I don't think she pays her gas bills, to be honest with you. And Melina says she actually wore it for style. You see, that's what confuses me: an Arsenal fan and style. It doesn't really go together, does it? But hey, we're on Saturday. Let's Stephen Collins. Good evening, Stephen. You missed me just saying about what you were daring me to dye my hair blue, and I said I was going to do something else. But I have got something planned if we win the. I should say if we win the FA Cup. I should say when we win the FA Cup, shouldn't I? Are you
wish?
Are you worried? Let's start with Tom. Are you worried at all?
After last night's performance, a little bit, yes.
Yeah.
But I mean, Wembley's our backyard, really. So I'm not too. I've got to sound confident, otherwise I'm going to worry myself.
I have agreed to do so many shows between now and the kickoff, just so I literally don't have to think about it. Ankit, about yourself, are we worrying you at all?
So I believe, definitely if you had asked me 24 hours earlier, I would have been totally confident and bragging about no matter what. But you know what? I'll probably brag less now. And I'll say that you mentioned 4 times that you've been in the finals. quick stat here. We've been in the finals 4 times in the last 5 years. So I believe that is confidence for sure. We've been there. As Tom says, it's a backyard for sure. So we should do the job, I believe, after yesterday.
I think we're getting a bit of backfeed from you there, Ankit. I'm not sure if it's yourself. I think it's you, not Tom. But yeah, I mean, this is it, Tom. Don't be greedy. I said earlier to you, you've got a Champions League final coming up, mate. You know, let us have the FA Cup. We've been in it 4 times, never won it. It's the least you can do.
I mean, we lost it last year, and we shouldn't have.
Yeah. Who did you lose to?
We can't lose 2.
Who did you lose to last year?
You mentioned it earlier, Chris. I don't have to say it.
Oh, Arsenal. Yes.
Yeah.
You
Did you see that?
You are the favourites going into this. I mean, this was at 12 o'clock today on Sky Bet. Other betting sites obviously are available. Chelsea 4-9, Leicester 13-8, and don't forget when the fun stops, stop betting. But you know, your odds on there. We like being the underdog, but looking at that, you should walk it.
That's been said before. We should have walked it last season and we didn't.
And it's a funny season this season, isn't it?
Yeah, massively different, massively strange. Anything can happen. I mean, we should have walked last night, didn't. Yeah. I mean, he who shall not be named, obviously, basically scored an own goal. So
it's been a strange week because Man United, with the team they put out, wanted us to win. You trying to score an own goal obviously wanted Arsenal to win for some reason. It's been a really, really weird week. You know?
Yeah, we purposely hit the crossbar twice in 1 second, stuff like that.
But you're the home team, unfortunately. So we're playing, and that's why I've got my purple kit on. And it's 5:15 UK time this Saturday, and it's on BBC One for a change live. It's on BT. Listen on the 2 national radio stations: BBC Radio 5, Talk Sport, Radio Leicester. If you want to do that with Ian Stringer, or LCFC Radio for outside the county lines, and you can listen to Matt Elliott and a few X-Foxes on there. Ankit, I don't want to say, but on this day, I've done my homework here, courtesy of a book, I must be honest with you, but on this day in 1992, Leicester City secured a return to Wembley after 23 years with a 5-0 defeat of Cambridge United in the second leg of the Division 1 playoff final.
Wow, that sounds stat, yeah. So I think that certainly tells you where you are.
You know earlier, Tom, when I said you were grasping at straws.
Yeah.
I think you've just seen me doing the same then. But and I don't know. It's so confusing, guys. And I'll come to Ankit with this one because depending who wins what, and you've got Man United in the Europa League, you've got yourselves and Man City in the Champions League. You've got the new European competition, the Europa Conference League. Now, I don't know whether this still stands or not, but this was, I say, earlier on, Leicester City and Chelsea were assured of at least playing in the Europa Conference League playoff round. We might meet Chelsea there. Might meet Arsenal there, at this rate. But they may still qualify for Champions League group stage or Europa League group stage via our position. However, the winners of the FA Cup will gain a place in the group stage of the 21-22 UEFA Europa League unless they finish in the Champions League places. It's as clear as mud, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really tough one, actually. So what I understand is if Leicester and Chelsea finish in the top 4, basically the 5th and 6th teams will automatically go into Europa League, and the 7th.
If we finish in the top 4, both of us, we will automatically go into the Champions League.
Of course, yes. And the 5th and the 6th also go into Europa League automatically, right?
I think and then there's this new Europa Conference League. But if if let's say Chelsea win the FA Cup but don't finish in the top four, you would then end up in the Europa League. I mean, it's as clear as mud. Basically, just let do what next Tuesday. Should we sort of do a Germany-Austria and play for a draw?
That's
What do you think, Tom? Do you think that's okay? 1-1 draw?
Yeah, we could make a draw on Tuesday, although I prefer a win. But can't have everything.
No. I must admit, last night, I mean, do you look at Leicester, Tom, and think, and I know we've sort of touched on this earlier, but we are Leicester. We have a habit of throwing things away. Look at us against Newcastle the other week. Do you look at it and thinking, God, I'm glad it's Leicester?
No, because I'd much rather play Sheffield United in the final. But as you said before, it depends which Leicester turns up, and again, it depends which Chelsea turns up. You'd like to think on paper we should beat you, but it's football. You can't say easy walkover. It's Leicester. They always mess up. You can't say that.
But you look at Leicester and you think they've had 4 attempts at winning this. It's like a second home to you guys, isn't it?
I mean, we've lost our fair share of FA Cup finals now. So if we perform like we did against City, then I'm confident. But if you perform like we did in the first half against Arsenal, then not so confident. It completely depends on who turns up.
And we want to we want to try and get your players to play a few back passes as well, don't we? But I'm enjoying this. Ankit, I mean, Kevin, good evening, Kevin. He's a Newcastle fan, and he's saying he's looking forward to seeing the Foxes win the FA Cup for the first time. I mean, I think most neutrals, we're looking at Leicester, and most neutrals will want Leicester. That's not being horrible, is it? I think that's the case.
You know what? That's something that Chelsea is used to, and that's perfectly fine. As in, I can understand, being a Newcastle fan, wanting an underdog, to perform and win the competition on the whole. It's something altogether. It's something of a story, right? Because Chelsea has been winning most often than not, or been in the finals. So I believe, that's perfectly fine. But yes, I really believe that, as Tom said, we cannot take Leicester easily, because the fact that you guys haven't been in FA Cup finals for so long, that itself is motivation enough.
Yes, yeah. Kevin, you had to mention it, didn't you? Sorry. We let Newcastle. You see, the plan there, Kevin, was the fact that if we let you win, Steve Bruce will be given an extended contract, and you'll have to put up with him for longer. So you're the big loser, I think. But yeah, and I agree with what you're saying. The whole Europa thing and everything is a total mess. I mean, Jason, did anyone get an LCFC poster from the newspaper? I don't know. But guys, with all this that's gone on with the ESL, I mean, I opened the post yesterday and there's a box there, and I've got, there was like a clapper that we have, which is behind me. There's face paint, there's a badge, there's a letter from the chairman. Could you see Abramovich doing that, Ankit?
Absolutely not. At least not in the near future. But I believe there are going to be 3 fans who are going to be part of the trust, right? So hopefully, say 2 years from now, I can see things changing slowly but steadily.
Brookline, a question for you here, Tom. How do you feel about your most dangerous player being American? Guess where Brookline's from, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, I don't mind.
I didn't think you would somehow. There's not really an awful lot more you can say to that, in fairness. But Tom, apart from Man City in the semi-final, I mean, we pretty much matched each other along the way there, but you've had it pretty easy, haven't you? Let's be honest with you. Morecambe, Luton, Barnsley, Sheffield United. I mean, they might as well just given you buys to the semi-final.
I mean, says you with Stoke, Brentford, and Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton and at least the Premier League side.
I mean, your semi-final was a little bit easier.
To be honest with you, when you looked at it, I mean, we were playing Man United and in the quarters, and for some reason they made the draw at half time, and they pulled out that we were sort of got Southampton, and no disrespect to them, but that was the team that we wanted. So it was a bit of an incentive to spur us on. Did you want Southampton to get through more than Leicester, or?
Yes.
Would you? Yeah. Yeah. I mean that's very kind of you, but just going back, I mean, your journey here, you've 3 home games. You're only away to Barnsley. Were you fielding full strength, or were you sort of? And I don't mean when I say second string, I don't mean sort of an Ole Gunnar Solskjaer type of second string with 10 changes. But were you sort of? I mean, we pretty much played our strongest team throughout. Ankit, how were you strong teams or you younger players?
No. So, like you mentioned, definitely we had an easy run, right, in the FA Cup. But in parallel, we were playing in the Champions League teams like Atletico Madrid, Real Madrid, and whatnot, right? So we had to rotate. I remember like we played Emerson only in the FA Cup and League Cup, so as to speak. Kepa, out of all people, obviously he got his form back because of the FA Cup, right? Billy Gilmore, I think, had a couple of appearances, especially in the Tuchel, because don't forget, after Luton Town is when Lampard was sacked, right? So the Barnsley game, although it sounds very easy, but it was probably the first cup game of Tuchel, and he was experimenting at the time. So I still believe that he did experimentation in the right manner, and just about crossed the line. And obviously, the Man City performance was great, and he had to play his strong team there.
Yeah, Tom, I think it's actually you with the feedback there. There's some. I'm not sure what's happening, but there's a bit of.
I'll try and sort something.
That's one nice one. Looking at our last games, Ankit, I hate to keep saying this, but I'm actually enjoying it. You lost to Arsenal.
Yeah, go on.
We beat Man United. I mean, I was an Arsenal fan last night. I had my red. I mean, Mel will tell you. I had my red top on, red Leicester top. I say, not an Arsenal top, a red Leicester top on, because I thought going into the final, you've just lost. Not only have you just lost the game, but you've actually lost to, one of your biggest rivals. And we're going into it having won a game. So do you think that will have an effect on it at all?
Yeah, for sure. Unfortunately, I'll have to agree with you there because, the effect and the morale the team got, especially after the games against Manchester City and Real Madrid, was at a different level, right? But I think the two performances, this probably under Tuchel, the two really underwhelming performances, if I have to say, are Brighton and Arsenal. Basically, Brighton was, if you remember, right in that European Super League drama day that had happened, but that was still acceptable. But Arsenal, absolutely not, right? Especially the fact that we are losing to Arsenal 3 times in a year. So that, as a Chelsea fan who's been there, done that for like 20 odd years, I've got a lot of banter over the years. Definitely last decade has been us, but this year they have got a big motivation to get back to the banter. So that's really bad. But it kind of helps that fans were not there, in a sense, because if they were there, they would have made sure that second half in the Arsenal game, even the confidence would have really gone down. But I believe it is just a matter of finishing chances, which Tuchel is smart enough to fix in 2 days.
Yeah. I'll just say then, Tom, and it sounds a bit better now, thank you very much. I don't hate to keep saying it. I'm lying. I love to keep saying it. You lost to Arsenal last night. We beat Man United. I remember going into the Southampton game. We'd lost going into that game quite badly. Thankfully, they lost as well to West Brom, and I kind of felt it evened things up. And I know it's all psychological, and I was joking earlier about grasping at straws and what have you. But for us, and I don't agree with this second string because they're all registered players. They're all otherwise they wouldn't be allowed on the pitch. We beat Man United. You lost to your rivals. Do you think that gives you a psychological advantage? And good evening to Chelsea perspective as well, by the way.
I would say no. It would almost be. It's just what happened with West Brom as well. We were very relaxed. We'd won a load of games, hadn't conceded in ages, and then West Brom came along and shocked us. So that meant that we now have had that kick up the, excuse my language, arse. And I'm very, very sure that the players that come out on the pitch in Wembley on Saturday are going to be fired up, psychologically want this. So, I would say no. I'd say no, it doesn't.
No. And you've got a couple of ex-Leicester players, obviously, Tom, in Chilwell and Kanté. Kanté wasn't playing last night, and I presume that was to save him for for Saturday. And I know you were saying you've got a day less than us, but in fairness, we probably put out our strongest team we could, and you were resting a few players. I'm trying to look at some way when it doesn't look too bad for us.
You're Leicester, you're third in the league. You can definitely take solace in that before the game.
And Ankit, do you think like Chilwell and Kanté are going to be up for it a little bit more, knowing it's Leicester?
I think with Kanté, it's just the usual, right? I mean, he's not like an emotional person, so as to speak. So I believe that Kanté will be Kanté. Like if he plays, even if he's like 60% fit, he will give it all, right? But Chilwell, I believe, he will be the person who will really be pumped up for it. I know that Chilwell did get quite a bit of stick from the Leicester fans, especially towards the end. So hopefully, he will be extra charged.
That's the thing, Ankit. I'll stay with you because you mentioned that. Fans seem to like to pick on one player for some reason. At the moment with us, it's Perez that they can't take to. But, the manager rates him and it's the manager's choice. I like Chilwell. I mean, the way I looked, he was England's first choice left back under Gareth Southgate. He got a goal in him as well. Sure. I mean, James Justin, who's coming to replace him, is amazing, and I think will eventually probably be better, in the long term. But Chilwell seems to have been playing okay. Good for you. You're happy with him. That was Ankit.
Absolutely, I think. Yes. So I believe Chilwell is very underrated. One of the qualities in Chilwell that I see, which I did not expect, watching him for Leicester, was his heading ability. Like he's really good in the air, in the box. He's really good while defending as well as attacking. Right. Of course, with the pace and the crosses, that's something that you would expect him to do. Looking at him, so yes, like Chilwell, like his idol is Ashley Cole. That's what he's gone on record saying, right? So if he can even be 50% of what Ashley Cole is, like that's something that we are more than happy with. Whether it was 50 million or whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, Tom, he went because also he wanted to play under Frank Lampard. That lasted half a season, obviously, but that's the way it goes in football these days. It's no different to us going through managers, which we did for a while. When Tuchel, I can never pronounce it right, Tuchel, but when he joined, he didn't seem to take to Chilwell.
Well, his words were, "I'm going to go with experience to start with," which is what he did.
Right.
I mean, he dropped Mount in the first game,
Yeah.
so I can see why he did that. But Chilwell has almost come out better since. I mean, I wouldn't say last night he wasn't on his best form last night, but in those Champions League games, he's been fantastic on the left.
And in fairness, sometimes a player, as much as you love him, has got to move on to learn different things. And it doesn't mean that he's under a bad coach. It just means that he will, learn new things and move in different directions, under a different coach. But Tom, we've been linked with Tammy Abrahams. And also we've been linked with Eduardo, and I've got to be at Celtic, and I've got to be honest with you, out of the two of them, I probably would fancy Tammy Abrahams. I mean, he's your top goal scorer.
Yep.
But again, whether it's this experience thing or not, and I'm going to, you'll tell me that your manager doesn't seem to like playing him.
I think it's the style of play we play. Tuchel would rather we passed it into the box and shot than crossed it in, if that makes sense. Or he's a poacher, Tammy, really good poacher. But I don't think that's what Tuchel's after, and that's why Giroud's not playing more, because Giroud can put off a wonder goal like against Atleti. So it's a sticky one. Obviously, as a Chelsea fan, you don't want your youth players to go, especially if they're your top goal scorer last season and currently this season somehow he's our top goal scorer, even though he's hardly played, which is mental. But
I know we're holding on to that. That's one of the straws we're grasping at.
So I mean, he wasn't even in the squad yesterday, so it must be something up.
Ankit, would you be sorry to see him go? And do you think sort of moving to Leicester would be a good move for him?
Yeah, I think unfortunately a move for Leicester will be good for him, because I think Vardy has probably a year in him left. What do you think? So
we said that earlier. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, so I think imagine Iheanacho and Tammy Abraham up top, as in that I can see that happening, because Iheanacho is a left footer. He kind of runs the channels, and Tammy Abraham is your tall striker. So I can see that happening for sure. It's just unfortunate that the system, like Tom said, because even when it comes to Chilwell that we spoke about, because I think the first month that he wasn't playing was because of the fact that he wasn't very comfortable at wing back. Right. Same thing with Tammy. I don't think he's played in a system where the main centre forward moves like left, right, centre, floating all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so going into this, and again, I'll stick with you for this for a second, Ankit. The form guide going into it, forgetting last night, that was the only loss in 5 games, to be fairness. I don't know, you struggled against Brighton. You did us a bit of a favour with West Ham. Let's face it, Fulham are down, and obviously you had that win over Man City, and I'm still not forgiving Man City for that. We've got 3 wins, a draw, and a loss, so pretty much the same as you. It's tight, isn't it?
It is because in fact, even I kind of figured out, what was the form just before that. So if you see even last 7 games, I believe Chelsea and Leicester are almost identical. We have won 4, and I think same with Leicester. I think the huge difference though, Chris, is we have played, I know it's easier to say on paper, but we have played like Man City and Real Madrid twice each in those 7 games. So the way that we really came, especially the recent game against Man City, coming from behind, and the defense, literally under Tuchel, we have, I think, conceded only about 7 goals, if not for those West Brom goals. Under 25 games? That's something like a phenomenal record. So the defense being so strong, and the way we kind of are so professional about going things forward as well, and that is why I believe that our form is probably just about better, and the teams that we play.
Yeah.
Right, we're just going to take a very quick 10-second break, and we'll be straight back and be coming to you. And I'm going to have some good news actually for Tom in a second. That's what he's worried.
TV, your first choice for everything Leicester City. Tune in and join in now.
So we've played each other quite a bit in the FA Cup, Tom. Not forgetting last season, which wasn't the most exciting game, but
No,
it wasn't at all, no, and it didn't help no fans being there at the time. But we've played you 9 times in the FA Cup. We've never beaten you. The best we've done is get 2 draws, and we've lost the replays. I mean, look at that. 3-0. I mean, that's going back to 1920. I grant you that's going a bit far back with the form, but you've got something over us in the FA Cup, and that's what worries me.
You aren't the only team though got over. To be fair, I think that's quite a large number in the FA Cup at least. But yes, thing is, though, you're looking back all the way to 1920s. So
yeah, I know.
Maybe the players might be a bit more. Oh, we've got this. We've always beaten them, but
yeah.
I mean, you'd think experience. I mean, obviously Silva will probably play, Aspi will play, Rudiger will play. That's probably going to be our back 3.
Yeah.
Think of the experience there. Kante, I mean, he's basically become the best player in the Premier League since Tuchel's taken over, which has been unbelievable. But I mean, yeah, I'll take that stat. I'm happy with it.
I mean, you won't get any arguments with me about Kante, as we spoke about it earlier. But Ankit, do you think that sort of you might be a bit complacent, knowing sort of you played there so often? This is only the I don't know. Were we at Wembley last year we played in the quarters, didn't we, last year? I think it
quarters,
was.
Yeah, quarters.
So our Wembley visits are few and far between. There can be a little bit of complacency. Hopefully, maybe coming in there.
Come on, Chris. It's an FA Cup final. I don't see that happening for sure. And you know what? I believe, I am sure, there were half the team was there last year as well. They lost that final against Arsenal. Again, I'm repeating, but that was really bad. We were dominating that game, and suddenly something changed in the second half. And these players will remember. And I believe, even you speak about Leicester losing to Chelsea all the time, right? In FA Cups. But even in League Cups or in Cups overall, I think you guys have just beaten us once. That was just before I was born. So that was in the League Cup in early 1980, I think, right? So that was something so that's really, I would say, more of a confidence thing that people like Kasper Schmeichel, who've been through generations, will be knowing, and hopefully that will be in the back of your minds rather than us. So we'll have the upper hand. I'm hoping for that.
The problem with that is Tom, Brendan Rodgers knows. He came down from Celtic to rebuild his career in England, and we know, and we were talking about it earlier. Will he go to Arsenal? Will he go to Tottenham? No, he won't at this point. Who knows in the future? He probably will move on at some point. But my God, if he takes Leicester to an FA Cup final where we actually win it, it's obviously taken us there anyway. But if he wins it, his stock's going to be so high, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, FA Cup's a historic trophy, isn't it? So absolutely, but he won't anyway, so it's fine.
I'm going to cut that out of when we finish. I'm going to cut that bit out and save it just in case, and I will.
I'll send that on Twitter or something then afterwards.
I'll say with you, Tom, and I'm going to ask this same question to you both now. Leicester players that you fear.
Well, Iheanacho right now. That's the main one for me. Is Maddison fit?
We're not sure, to be honest with you, with that. There's a couple of players we're not sure about. He has been playing, but we think Perez will start.
Okay.
And maybe Maddison come on a bit later.
As well. And I think the last one would be Ndidi, obviously.
Yeah. Yes.
Do
you like Ndidi and Kit? Because a lot of players, a lot of fans that I've been talking to recently from other clubs says, he can stop the ball, but that's all he can do with it. But he's got a good pass on him as well.
Yeah, for sure. I think just like you mentioned about Chilwell for Leicester, we have Jorginho. Like our fan base is literally split when it comes to Jorginho. I'm right in the middle. I don't want to
Tom looks like he agrees with you there.
I don't want to spill the beans.
I'm not in the mood anymore on Jorginho. I used to be. I can't.
Yeah, especially after yesterday. But you know what? So there's a school of thought which says that, okay, Kante is not as fit as what he used to be. And of course, Billy Gilmore is great, but he cannot do exactly what Kante can do, right? And NDD is something of like, I would say like in world football even, NDD is probably the closest to Kante for me. That's how I see it. And especially having the Premiership experience, I was like hoping that, we could somehow get an NDD. Of course, that's very controversial to say now, but yeah. I would definitely be scared of NDD, but I would actually shout out Johnny Evans, because Evans, I believe, has really been underrated over the years, and especially like last couple of months, I believe he scored like 3-4 goals for you all.
He's got a couple, yeah. He's suddenly he's following Nacho's example. I mean, we bought Johnny Evans from West Bromwich Albion, and I think Man City were after him in the January window.
Yeah.
West Brom didn't want to sell. I think the terms were like 30 million from Man City down, because they were fighting to stay up, and then we got him for 3 million at the end of the season because Man City had gone off and bought somebody else, and he struggled when he started, and then he has got that experience. The problem is, and going back to the Newcastle game, which I hate to do, but I've got to, he got injured in the warm-up.
Yeah.
If I can just say that the guy that picks my man of the match still picked him as the man of the match, even though he only played 3 minutes in the warm-up. That's how bad we were. But, he's got this heel problem. He's on crutches. He didn't play against Man United. We do miss him because he's got that experience. Fofana's only young. Soyuncu, he's got a bit of a mistake in him every now and again as well. Evans is the older head that can kind of control that back line. So we're really, really hoping he's fit. I'm worried that he won't be, if I'm honest with you.
No, I think even if he's like 60% fit, if I'm not wrong, like you guys will play a 3 at the back system, right? Because like he doesn't need to run as much, 3 or 5 at the back. So I believe you can go with Evans, Fofana, and Soyuncu.
Yeah, those are our 3 preferred at the back. But I think I was saying to you, wasn't I, earlier, Tom, in your chat, I think we play pretty much quite similar formations in the fact that it is when we're defending and we haven't got the ball, we've got a 3 at the back. A 5 at the back. And when we're going forward, it goes to a 3 in the back. That's pretty much, Tom, what you guys do, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it's very similar. I mean, Ben said earlier we defend with 7 at the back because of our 6s as well. But
yes,
I mean, as long as we don't defend like Mourinho, then I'm fine, because that's just boring football.
And Tom, who should be? I'll put my teeth in and try that again. Who should we be worried about from the Chelsea team?
Mount, obviously. That's a given. If Kante starts, Kante, and I think Reece James could give your left side a bit of a run for its money if he starts, because of late he tore City's left side a new one. He was unbelievable against City, and if he does that again against you, you have Thomas probably playing left wing back, won't you? Well,
I was just about to say, young Luke Thomas. Mind you, he scored a bit of a good goal against Man United. So, but yes, he's young and learning, and that's the worry there. Yes.
Yeah, no, and that's why I think Reece James. He needs to have someone tall in the middle. Please don't start Werner through the middle against you guys. Because if we're playing Chilwell and Reece James as wing backs, it showed in the Arsenal game. We didn't have someone who was constantly in the box until way later on. And once Giroud was on the pitch, we were way more threatening. He hit the bar. Zuma hit the bar. He probably could have put a couple more shots on target, Giroud. But I mean, that's that's what we need if we're going to have Chilwell and Reece James playing on the wings. Reece James beats his man half the time.
Yeah. And Kit Giroud, is he likely to start?
I would not say so. Like, I would love that Giroud starts. Like, that's my preference as well. I agree with Tom there because, like, especially the FA Cup, he's got it in him. Giroud has, like, again, the Arsenal topic again, right? He's Mr. FA Cup in the last, say, 7-8 years, right? So he deserves to start, especially like the send-off that he, he's got to get it from Tuchel finally. But somehow I believe as well that Werner is going to start. He didn't play yesterday. Yes, we have missed Werner's pace in a couple of games when he's not played. But I agree with Tom because of the fact that we need height, especially with Reece James and Chilwell being on form. They can really cross the ball well. So that's where I believe, Ziyech will come in. Like my actually player to pick is Hakim Ziyech, because in the recent games, especially the big games, it's Hakim Ziyech was really performed well. Like he scored twice against Man City. He had a goal against Porto as well, right? So he's got that big game cup feeling to him, and even he's got a nice shot on him from far. That's something that we lacked under Frank Lampard. So I believe with Mount and Ziyech taking shots from far, that can be one of the weapons.
Yeah, I can see the front three being Ziyech, Mount, and Werner. Unfortunately.
But, really? Yeah. Thanks to everybody who was saying hello to us all there. I think it was pretty fair. We all got one there. Rich, who is he's got a great site, guys. Rich Sports. He's Man United fan. We forgive him for that. 2-1. But we thank him and his manager for the team they put out. But no, he does a lot of just like the Blue podcast. He does a lot of general football stuff. So check him out, Rich Sports on YouTube, his channel. Chelsea Perspective saying it could be a very open game. The worry is that we're building up to be such a good game. Because let's be honest with you, third is playing fourth. That it's probably going to be a drab 0-0 go to penalties, and it'd be an awful game. Is it Giroud's last season? Saying about having a free at the end of the season?
Yeah, I think he will go.
Yes, yeah. And how old is he now?
34.
Yeah, he's
34.
Oh, he's saying
like
up there with Vardy, then, isn't he? Really,
Yeah.
Now, what I like about Rich is that he'll be supporting. He wants Leicester to win the FA Cup, but he wants Chelsea to win the Champions League. He is Man United, though. Come on.
He wants to stay the only team in Manchester to win the European Cup.
Yeah, and as Stephen says here, we are all Man United fans tonight. I don't know if they've kicked off yet, or what time it's kicking off. I know the bus was being delayed again.
About 10 more minutes, I guess, right?
I want to get our predictions out.
Get that out quickly. Yeah, talking of predictions, that is absolutely perfect, Tom, because I don't want to say that I just joined your prediction league, and my prediction for last night was Arsenal 1, Chelsea 0. Bam, I know, straight in there. And I also, my prediction against the ex-Leicester players was that Man United 1, Leicester City 2. So I'm on a bit of a roll. So this is what, so be afraid, be very afraid. Just because they always say there's no proof of what I actually announced. I'm putting it up there. My score prediction, Chelsea 1, because I think we've always got letting a goal in the side. Chelsea 1, Leicester City 2 is what I'm going to go. That's what I'm hoping for. It's what I'm going to go and pray for in a minute. And Vic, first of all, can we have your prediction?
Wow. So even I have a 2-1 score line, but the other way around, obviously. So, but I expect a very close game. It's going to be 1-1, and it'll be 1 in extra time, is what I'm predicting. Yeah. With Mount and Howard scoring for us, and Chilwell getting an assist.
Oh, big cool.
What do you think, Tom? What are you going to go for?
I've got to stick with this as well for our prediction on Saturday. I'm going to go. I want to see the team, but I'm going to be confident 2-0. Won't let a goal in.
I am. I tell you what. I am just so nervous. I'm gonna lock myself in the loo and just sit on the loo with the radio and just let it go straight through, cut out the middleman. I'll tell you, guys. Tom, start off. Give us a shout out for your social media sites.
Twitter at the Blue Podcast 1, Instagram at the Blue Podcast 1. I don't know if you've seen, and we've actually have some merch as well. If you want to check that out, it's in our link of our YouTube video description right at the top. So if you want to check that out, that'd be massively appreciated. Thank you, Chris, for coming on, and I guess we'll You'll be on our screen soon, probably Tuesday, I think it will be.
Yeah. Have a look out for the YouTube for the Blue podcast, because they did have me on earlier, and I wasn't rude at all. I'd wish you all the best, but I don't mean it. But good luck in the Champions League final. Anyway, cheers, mate. Take care. Thanks for coming on.
Bye.
And Ankit, give us a rundown of your
Sure.
your podcast and details.
Sure. So basically, I was earlier the Indian Chelsea fan a few years earlier, and then I made a comeback to YouTube just earlier this year with RCBian Chelsea Fan TV, where RCB is basically an Indian cricket club, probably the only club or the most famous club which has not won IPL yet. So I'm a huge fan of RCB. So RCBian, you'll see some cricket content like maybe a month in a year, but mainly it's going to be Chelsea content. So yes, RCBian Chelsea Fan TV. That's how it's called on YouTube as well. You can follow me on Twitter. My first name, 3 letters are ANK. My name is Ankit. So ANK followed by my date of birth. That's 30784. That's my Twitter account. So yeah, please do follow us, and on Instagram as well. You can follow us at RCBian Chelsea Fan TV. So yeah, before I end, Chris, I just wanted to quickly throw out a stat there. I don't want to jinx it, but basically,
I'll just say there's all your details. You can't just say if you want to put your PIN number in there as well, or your account number, your date of birth. Feel free. We're all honest. There's no Liverpool fans in here, you know.
I hope so. I can. Anyway, so basically in 2012, we beat Leicester 5-2. You remember that?
Yeah, unfortunately I do, yes.
Yeah, and so our target is beat Leicester a game, and what we did in 2012 made the 19th. This time it's made the 29th, so hopefully it will be a double. I don't want to jinx it, but that's my belief.
You are favourites going into it, like I say. So we play well as the underdogs. We hate being the favourites, but like I said to Tom, I'm not going to wish you luck because I wouldn't mean it, and I don't want to be a liar. But I'm not even going to say that. Let's hope football's the winner. Bollocks! I want Leicester to be the winner. I'm sorry, it's as simple as that. But I will say, good luck in the Champions League.
Oh yeah, thanks for that. I appreciate it, and really, it was a great experience, and hopefully, we will meet again.
Brilliant. Yeah, all the best, mate. Take care.
Take care. See you guys.
And I hope everything in India improves vastly, because you're having it bad over there. So fingers crossed.
I'm just waiting to get back to Canada, so I'm just waiting for new things. So yeah, hopefully it will be fine. Don't worry.
Well, let's hope it's not a long wait for you. Thanks very much. Take care, Ankit. All the best, mate.
You too. Take care. Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Oh, and thanks to Chelsea Perspective. First time on our channel. Mate, give us a subscribe. I hope you like what you saw. We do lots of different shows. You can see it all on the old YouTube channel. All you need to do is just click that button where the arrow shows, and you will see all of our shows. So hopefully you enjoyed it, and hopefully we'll see you again. And hopefully it's not coming on to gloat. You wouldn't do that, would you? No, of course you wouldn't. Yeah, we would, of course. Since you did not mention Vardy, he's good for a brace. Okay. I'm just going with the score because I'm just good at getting that right, Rich, I was just happy Man City didn't make the final. Can I be honest with you, Rich? Not as much as we are, because we have played Man City. I think it was a League Cup the last 2 or 3 seasons, and we've lost every time. We just seem to get to the quarters, draw Man City, and go out. And that takes us back to Claude Puel, and we won't even mention Claude Puel. Chelsea Perspective, I will subscribe, and I hope to collaborate with you someday. Mate, I'm on Twitter at LeicesterTID. Give us a follow, send me a message, and I've got a big list of contacts that I do for sports shows. I'll add you to that. It would be great to have you on. We play each other, us teams, so often now in a season with cups and everything. Always looking for collaborators. Would be great to have you on, and put a note on it what your channel is, and we'll give you a subscribe back. Guys, 2 days. How nervous are we? I mean, look at this here. It's the cup final. I've got the programme. I've got the flags. I've got more flags in the other room. I am almost getting ready to put my Leicester City underwear on. All I will say is that we'll be back tomorrow, 7 o'clock for the preview show. It'll be myself and Craig, and I'm hopefully going to get Steve Lynix and Julian Watts, a couple of ex-players, on as well. Rich says there, for a neutral, it could be an interesting final. As long as it's not boring. Yeah, I just hope it's better than the Southampton semi. I really do. But yeah, be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock, and we will see the big announcement. Yeah, what am I going to do if we win the FA Cup? I've got a lot of things to beat. That's the trouble. If you want to catch up with the show, Leicester Till I Die TV, we're on there on YouTube. I say subscribe, like, set reminders for the videos that are there. Not sure when I'm going to be doing a post-match show, depending whether we win or lose. So it might be Saturday night, or I might be too annoyed or too drunk if I'm celebrating. It might be Sunday morning. If you want to listen back to us rather than watch us, and let's face it, I don't blame you, you can catch us on all your podcast platforms, including Anchor FM, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Apple iTunes, Spotify, and Podcast Addict, to name just a few. All I'm going to show you is big thank you from from Ankit. Good stuff. Nervous and excited for the game. Have a good one as we watch Liverpool. Yeah, I'm going to put Liverpool on in a minute as I do a couple of things. Chelsea, don't tell me you haven't got any Chelsea underwear. I tell you, go and buy some Chelsea underwear for the final, because it might be your best chance of getting some balls in a net. Hey, bum. Thanks very much, guys. We'll see you. Oh, yeah, I've got to show you this. When I am 60 years old now, for the first 55 years of my life, I hated tattoos. Couldn't stand them. Didn't see the point of them. I was drunk in the 15-16 season, and on just before Christmas in December, I said at the start on Facebook, you know what that's like. If we are top for Christmas, I will have a tattoo. Leicester never do what you expect them to. What happens? We were top at Christmas, and I got a tattoo. There you go. Chat shit, get banged. Hashtag Leicester Till I Die. Great tattoo. Don't believe me? Look, there it is. Look, there you go. Chat shit, get banged. See you tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, guys, with Craig and the ex-players. Take care. Stay safe. See you then. Thanks for joining in.
Hello, Matt Elliott here. Be sure to watch Leicester Till I Die TV on YouTube and follow all their social media platforms for all the latest updates and news on Leicester City Football Club.
Thanks for watching Leicester Till I Die. This is Chris saying goodbye, and see you next time.
Some people are on the pitch, they think it's all over. It is now.